I love coming out here and finding these guys still growing and still doing good. Like these guys over here. There's a couple of them. See? He's hanging in there. These guys over here. You know, everybody's connected, everybody's doing good. See, look at the grasses that come out here now. So that's wonderful. Put some of these over here because everybody needs each other. And so when they have company, they do so much better. So this guy over here, you see this one's fell over with the tide. And so he's getting too much water. It looks like another one down there. You see? And so what I'll do is I get a stick. And I bury it again. Just like this. Stand them up. Put them all together. Something to get them started. So these guys survived the hurricane. So that means they should be fine for centuries. Because look at that. They're doing okay. And so now that's two. These little guys around them. And then this guy over here is doing really well too. So you come over here and you see, oh, those are little black, these are black mangroves. And that's how they start, like that. And then these other guys, red mangroves. So what I do is I pick up some black guys, ouch, and I put it with these red guys back here. See, these red guys over here. See, there's a couple growing already. I'm gonna put them together. Wonderful. How you doing, dude?
Good.
Have you been out to see your water meter?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, that's great. It works really well.
It works really, so you're getting good data.
Yeah.
Okay, I am teaching at my major professor got skin cancer.
Oh no.
And he took the semester off.
Yeah.
He called me 2 weeks before the class started, and he says, the dean wants a name of who can teach my class.
Yeah.
And you're the only guy I could think of. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, you're going to have to do it full time. And I was like, yeah, I know. One of your classes is going to be a job. And he's like, well, if you can do it, I'll tell the dean. And I got off the phone and I got a message from the dean. And it was like that quickly.
Yeah.
So I finally called him back and he's like, when can I get the syllabus? Or he's like, oh, it's already posted online for the class.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, what about, let's get together and have lunch, and talk about it. And the office manager said I had to get into Canvas so I could get his PowerPoints and his tests and everything.
Yeah.
So a week before classes started, I drove all the way out to New Tampa and met him at
USF?
Yeah, USF.
Yeah.
MUMA, Business College,
Oh, yeah.
the only business sustainability class that they have.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an elective and everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So the dean needs somebody in there. So I drive all the way out to New Tampa and sit down with him for breakfast. And he says, I'm not going to give you anything. but the syllabus. And I said, what? There's 87 readings in your syllabus.
Yeah, yeah.
You want me to write the tests and PowerPoints and everything? And he's like, yep, good luck. And I was like, hey, I already got my PhD. You're supposed to do that when I was a student. He's like, do it when I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you got to figure out your own pedagogy. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like that for 2 days.
Yeah.
I was just, and I drove home and I just watched the lights go by all the way home, and I got back to St. Pete, and I was like, $400 a month to teach this class, and it's gonna be full time.
Yeah.
There's no way that's gonna pay my mortgage. And within no time, I had 3 people signing up for my Airbnb.
Yeah.
One of them signed a month contract that night.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, everything's paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, instantly. So it was like that night I sat up and prayed, and I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. And I went to sleep, and in the morning I knew what I was going to do. And the class has been awesome.
Oh, great.
And it's just been powerful.
Yeah.
So I think I know why I got fired with COVID, because I need to be teaching.
Yeah.
So I'm back. Morning. So I'm back doing this.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And there's a position open down here in the math department.
In USF down here.
Yeah, USF St. Pete has
Yeah.
a math professor position open.
Oh, okay.
So what I do for teaching is team building.
Yeah.
And instead of, I do a flipped class. Instead of me lecturing to them, they lecture to me.
Oh, okay.
And so I do it backwards.
Yeah.
And they go through all the readings, and then they present it to the class.
Oh, okay.
And they've been tearing it up.
Oh, that's
They've
good.
been really doing awesome. And I am so impressed with these students. And I'm even presenting to them, entrepreneurship opportunities and all these other things that they can do. One of the students was going to do a podcast for USF, a university podcast and stuff. And I'm like all over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to propose to the chairman down here that we do a flipped math class where they do all the math homework and they do all the book reading, but then the class itself is applied math and applied research and applied data analysis.
Oh, okay.
And I want to use our numbers. I want to use our data.
Yeah, sure.
So I want your help, because you're a professor and you know what you're doing. You're a scientist. And this is real data.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to grow mangroves.
Yeah.
And they've survived a hurricane.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's real. That's what's here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen the other clump up there.
Yeah, I walked by there a couple of times.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is just doing wonderful.
Yeah.
So the professor that I'm seeing on Thursday runs the instructional technology program at USF St. Pete.
Oh, okay.
He's a biologist who got into technology as his research.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to propose to him this project, and I'd love you to participate.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, as a scholar, as another professor, to be like on the advisory team or whatever you think you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to be part of it. So I want you to think about it and tell me, because I need to come up with real algebra problems and real analysis that I can bring students out to do.
Okay.
And I want them to come out here and measure stuff.
Yeah.
I want them to come out here with a yardstick or whatever it takes, so that they can count and they can measure and they can do a real math problem. Okay? So that's where I really need your help, because you're collecting data too.
Yeah.
And we can use that data as well.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And your articles are referred to a lot. There's a lot of people that refer back to your analysis for seagrasses and other places because you've been successful.
Yeah.
We've got, and I just pulled the seagrass out of over here and moved it over here and planted it with the other mangroves.
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm doing. And I was looking at the mess up at 26 after the storm, and there's a lot there that I can pull out
Yeah.
that has been blown over, and I can pull them out and I can stick them in the ground.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do in the next couple days.
Yeah.
So think about it,
Yeah, I'll
okay?
think about it.
And you got my email, and if you're inspired to, hey, what about this or what about that? You know, if you're inspired to send something to me,
We always need people to keep an eye on the grass.
everything, yes.
And-
And you see, that would be really cool, because I'm sure that there'll be a student or two that loves osprey like this one,
Yeah.
that would love to come out on a boat and measure seagrass beds. And if we, you know, we can get sailboats and kayaks, and look at this baby, she keeps coming around. Look at that. Hey, sweetie. Oh, look at that. The mockingbird is trying to chase her away.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I'll
those.
show you what they had out there so far.
Oh, you got data. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's gonna snap at the mockingbird. Hey, birdie, birdie, birdie. Hey, birdie. Hey, birdie. It's so funny, when I had my kids in Seminole Heights,
Yeah.
there was an osprey nest right outside our back window.
Oh yeah.
And every season there'd be, you know, 2 or 3 chicks in it. And I'd chirp at them like that. Wow.
So
this is your current data of what you've been
this
collecting.
is the org. Let's say this one. I have more data on this side.
Right, right.
But this is one. I had 2 sensors out there now.
You have 2
Yeah.
gauges, okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like something.
Yeah. So this is a hurricane.
Ah,
So here we're this is actually not the highest. Yeah, it's 35.5 degrees, which is 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very high temperature.
right,
And I have 4 of those over here.
4
But now it's cooling off, you know, and this is when the water went out of the bay.
Oh,
So
right.
the sensor was exposed. So it went from water temperature here down to air temperature.
Oh, cool.
So when they were exposed, I just walked out there. And
because
yeah,
you didn't have to
and
wear
I didn't have to lift them out of the
No,
water.
you didn't need anything.
No,
huh?
I just,
Oh, see, so that's cool.
yeah.
So this is giving you, I mean, that's something that you could write about right now.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it's
you
a
could write
real,
about.
because it's a real observation. It's
Yeah,
real data.
yeah.
It's real. It's showing something that's important.
It
for
shows
us.
something that we have never seen before, or that
Right.
is having 95 degrees water on the seagrass.
So what's cool is that my class is business sustainability,
Oh, okay.
and the professor that has been doing this for 50 years is real on the science.
Oh, okay.
So all the
Yeah.
all the articles are current, real science.
Yeah.
And it freaked out the students.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to talk about microplastics. It's another thing to know how bad it is.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
it's in everything. I mean, we get in our rainwater.
Oh, yeah.
We get in the rain coming. We get holy because you know it's everywhere.
We eat it.
I mean, it's in the
You
air we
breathe it.
breathe. It's in
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so when you get students that are freaking out over how much the problem really is,
Yeah.
then looking at solutions and looking at the data becomes critical. Because they recognize, damn it, you know, it's one thing to pretend there's no climate change. It's another thing to say, holy shit, this is a real problem,
Yeah.
and it's everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's getting worse.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like we can pretend to recycle, but they don't do any recycle. I mean, it all gets put in a furnace.
Yeah.
You know, in all these pretty blue containers. Oh yeah, let's put the plastic in the blue. It goes into the furnace anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they don't have a clue.
No.
And it's like, okay, we got to get real about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through the semester.
Okay.
And so, if you're inspired and you want to do a guest lecture on anything, I'll bring you in.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a road trip out to Tampa.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're welcome to come with me, but I mean it's a road trip. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I leave here at noon, and I get back at 5 or 6.
Yeah, my son used to live out there. It's a heck of a drive out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm